Welcome back. It's a great day for this Thursday. It's the 11th of June, and Thursdays about this time we visit with our good friend Brian Duffy, and we're going to put Duffy to work today. He's seen his cartoons for years, but now we're going to learn something about how he creates those cartoons. We have Brian over in the artist area now, we can call this. The artistic zone.
The great art space.
There it is. That's perfect. But Brian, first of all, thank you for being here. Thank you for offering to do this too. It's really cool to see how you put one of these cartoons together.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. What these are going to be caricatures. So I'll show you how I go about coming up with a caricature, and especially, and it's a difficult time for me because there are so many of these politicians that are running for office, especially the presidency.
Right.
And you know, that's one good argument for a larger state instead of Iowa, because there's just too many candidates per acre out here. So what I was going to do is show you how I generally come up with a caricature on somebody.
Okay, so who are we going to pick? I mean, show how to draw first.
Yes, you had to correct yourself on that one. Very nice. Well, we're going to do Hillary Clinton first of all.
Oh, okay.
Is she running? I haven't heard yet.
You know what? Anybody that comes into the state that is or has been a politician, I've automatically said they're running for president.
There you go.
That's it.
Now, did you have to learn how to draw a pantsuit for this?
Not for this one.
Okay.
There we go. There's an overhead shot. Keeping an eye on what you're doing. That's pretty cool.
Now, usually when you do a caricature, the first couple of times that you'll do the person, it looks a lot like what that person actually looks like.
Okay.
And then you start to notice things that stand out, whether it's ears, nose,
Okay, what
eyes.
stood out on Hillary after you drew her once or twice?
Well, in Hillary's case, I think it's a combination of a couple things. There's it's the hair, number one.
Yeah, hair, definitely.
And of course, she's always been slammed when she's changed her hairstyle.
Right. Well, yeah.
Well, you know, the same thing happens when I believe Jimmy Carter changed his part from one side to the other back in 1977, 78. You know, and it was just manna for cartoonists and columnists, because it was, you know, it's just he was flipping his sides and his opinions on things. So,
Is it easier to draw a man or a woman, or it doesn't matter?
I think it's probably easier to draw some of the men that run. You can do a lot more with them.
Do you have a lot more liberties that you can take with men as opposed to women?
I don't think so. I think that you can get away with just about anything.
Okay.
Generally. Now, you know, in Hillary's case, everybody likes to focus on the pantsuit, and
right.
So, and they make her a little bit larger than she actually is, but.
Well, yeah, I would think, yeah, women would be a little more sensitive
to that type of thing.
Yeah.
But now this caricature here is, what I'm doing on it is picking up on one of the iconic photographs over the last couple of years of Hillary. And that's Hillary on the cell phone or on her BlackBerry. You know, and everybody is wondering, you know, they still are wondering, you know, who was she calling?
What's amazing about this to me is not only that you're doing it, but you're doing it, it's falling out of your skull. You're not looking at a picture of her, it's just coming out of your head.
Well, you know, in some cases there are some politicians that I can do in my sleep. They're that easy, and I've done them enough times. Other ones take a little bit more work. Yeah, in Hillary's case, it's I think it's generally fairly straightforward.
How many cartoons of Hillary have you drawn? Do you have any idea?
Quite a few, and I'll be obviously doing a lot more.
Yes, you
Well,
will.
going along with that, about how many times does it take you to do a face before you get it to where you want it to be?
It can take a while, and what I always do as a fallback position is I'll always put their name on them somehow, label them.
Right.
Okay.
Because you don't know if everybody is going to figure out exactly who it is. After a while, you don't have to worry about it, because they can pick up who it is. They've seen it enough times. So that's generally my rule of thumb. And if somebody does say, I don't know who that is, then I go back to the labels again, or I ask them, do they ever read the news?
I remember you saying that the hardest one you've ever had to draw was John Glenn, because there was really nothing distinguishing about him.
No, there was no facial features that really stood out. And so I drew him with a space helmet on.
That's right.
And that's the only way that I could get it, that I could figure that one out.
And it worked. Well, and that's another thing. Every time she changes her hair, you've got to learn how to redraw her hair.
Yeah, there can be the 2013 hairstyle, or 2013 Hillary, 2014 Hillary. So you've got to be able to keep up with generally all of that stuff.
Bill Clinton was famous, and obviously wasn't the only one, but for changing his hair color depending on the groups that he would address.
Well, the worst one was we had Alan Cranston, who was a senator from California. He had what was left of his hair. He changed the color of it about halfway through the Iowa caucuses, from a gray to a burnt orange.
Nice.
And it just, just did not work. And of course, us cartoonists had a lot of fun with that.
Especially when you can work in color.
But no, in Hillary's case, I've done her enough times where I'm comfortable with her. And a lot of the other ones that are coming up now, even if they're not declared candidates, I've got them down pretty good. Scott Walker.
So the deal is, if they put their foot in the state, they're game.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
oh yeah. If they're sitting there, they're saying, well, we haven't made the decision yet. They've made the decision. They want to be able to take as much money or pick up as much money as they can from super PACs prior to making the announcement that they're actually running, because at that point, then there's a lot tougher regulations that come into effect.
Now, of all the cartoons you've drawn, have any of the candidates or any of the people you've drawn contacted you and say, hey, you know something, that was really good, can I get a copy of that?
All the time.
Really?
Oh yes. That's one thing about politicians, they're shameless. You can literally chew them apart in a cartoon, and as long as you get their name right, they think it's a compliment. Now, I can't always say that, because I'd done a caricature of Bill Richardson, and he didn't like it at all, and he complained to the editor of the paper about it. He said I gave him one too many chins. And literally I only gave him 4, so I don't know what he was complaining about.
That's a normal number, isn't it? 4?
Well, yeah. So, it's just that's just the process. And I think that a caricature itself can speak volumes about how you look at an individual or how they're perceived. Ronald Reagan, when he initially ran for the presidency back in '76, he was perceived as somebody that was in his 70s, very old man. In fact, some cartoonists actually put him in a wheelchair with an oxygen tank. So,
wow, that looks really good. Why don't you hold that up so we can get a good shot of that, Brian? That is outstanding. Brian Duffy, again, creating Hillary Clinton right before your eyes, and show you how that is really
Love
cool.
watching that.
So we're going to keep doing this for the next couple of weeks, right, Brian?
Oh, we're going to do it, well, as long as they keep on adding the people in the state.
Yeah, okay. So
as long as they keep on coming into the state and running, we'll be doing this. So we'll be having quite a few of these.
that is, you better sign that too. Then.
I'll sign it.
All right, get her done. There you go. Thank you so much. That is Brian Duffy. Thank you, Hamilton Law Firm, for help bringing Brian to the program each and every week. And again, he'll show you as step by step as he draws the politicians as we get ever so close. It is 9:41 right now. We'll be right back, folks. You're watching Great Day live on KCW.